Hey there! Happy Thursday. Talking about people who have difficulty hearing or have no hearing at all, people that are deaf. We're talking about how they can really enjoy, and many people can enjoy a musical concert. Some concerts are inside, with lots and lots of chairs. Some concerts are outside. You put up a picnic table, put up a blanket, and kind of sit down and watch. Sometimes they do things like that as well. So concerts are not always about screaming and cheering, but lots of times they are, especially during those really exciting parts, like the singer comes out to come onto the stage, or the guitarist jams and does a solo, which is just the guitarist, and he presses the musical instrument very, very quickly. It's just amazing to listen to. I've also heard drum solos where a drummer just does drums, and we've heard Mr. Egan at the holiday show do some crazy drum stuff. And he also is very talented and displays those talents at the talent show for the staff. But today, we're talking about some math in English, ELA. Well, what is that supposed to mean? Why are we doing math? Well, sometimes we cross the learning, cross those curriculum lines, and we learn math while we're learning about ELA. Well, we talked a little bit about this. That's not a picture graph. There's no pictures on there. That is called a bar graph. Now look at these bars. All right, we're going to be focusing a lot on the bar graph, how to get information from the bars, and how to understand what kind of information is being shown to us, and how to interpret that. Interpret's a difficult word, but I'm not hiding them from you. Interpret just means to read it and understand it. Okay. So, at some concerts, rock bands play. And bands play, and others, the orchestra plays. Now, I know when I go to see a concert at my school, my children aren't in the orchestra and they're not in the band, but they are in something called chorus, and schools sometimes break into those three different things. So when you go, the chorus is always last, so I always sit through the orchestra. Those are the violins and things like that, with strings. Then sometimes the band will come on second or last, and the band is all those shiny instruments, and brass instruments, the flute, I believe the clarinet, the saxophone, the drums, those are all band, okay? I mean, percussion deals with drums. Lots of times it's not 100 drummers in a band. They'll have a bunch, but a smaller amount. So at these concerts, they're playing all these instruments together sometimes. So if we go to an actual concert, there'll be a band will play all those things together. An orchestra will be like 40, 50 people, kids or adults, playing one type of instrument, a group of instruments, okay? And then a band will play one types of different groups of instruments. But if you go to some place to listen to a band, it doesn't necessarily mean a big thing that people could be in a parade marching in a band, like that's a really big band. When you go to a concert, it's usually like one band. So let's say you wanted to go to a Britney Spears concert. It's a female singer, but she would be one of the only people on stage. She's not actually a band, that's a bad example. But there's a band called Rush. There's a drummer, a guitarist, a bass guitarist, which is thicker strings and less strings, a singer for the microphone, and the drums. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. But they all play together in really nice ways. And when they come out, let me tell you, I've never been to a Rush concert, but when they come out, they take the stage, they put the instrument on their backs, and all the people going nuts. People are like, yeah, I've been waiting so long for this. It's going to be amazing. I waited until the end of the summer to see you guys. We love you. So, let's get back into this. So, watching the signs, okay? One way deaf people enjoy a concert is by watching an interpreter. An interpreter is someone who uses the American Sign Language to communicate what people are speaking, the sounds they're saying out loud. So people that cannot hear the sounds or have a limited sound awareness or hearing, they can read the hands very easily. They can also read lips very good, some people. And that's a nice way to get some good understanding. But these interpreters can go to the concerts. So there can be some rapper or some singer, really, really loud. No matter how loud they are, it doesn't matter because you're moving your hands and your fingers in the American Sign Language, ASL. So regardless of how loud it is, now the people, the deaf music lovers, are knowing what words they're saying. They're knowing how intense the words are or how calm the words are and how they should feel. And feeling is expressing. And that's what we're talking about all week. How do you express yourself? You express yourself by, the last story, they express themselves by singing. We've got the beat. They express themselves with singing, with movements. Okay, that's expression. All right. Now these the band people at the concert are expressing themselves through music. They're playing some great music. Well, the deaf music fans, how do they express themselves if they're not hearing the music? Well, they're sensing the excitement. Right? They sense it. They just feel it in the air. They can see it. They can feel it. And then it talks about by watching the interpreters move, the fans understand what the band is singing. And if you look at this picture, you can see a country singer who has an interpreter directly behind him. And that's where you want to see, because you want to see the singer, and then the interpreter's right behind him, so you can kind of like keep it in like the side of your eye while you're actually watching the performer. It's a really wonderful thing, and it's a great opportunity for people to get to see something that they may think they might not have fun or may think they might not be able to do. And we have to ask and answer questions. We're focusing a lot about that this week. We learned about different ways that a deaf person can enjoy music. It says that a deaf fan can feel the music on their body. They can feel the shaking, they can feel the calmness, they can feel the excitement, and all the feelings that every other concert goer has. They're getting the same types of things. Tomorrow is our last day of the week, Friday, and we will be moving on to a special musical chair. Man, I've never seen one of these things before, but let me tell you, it's a great tool for someone. You think they're feeling it when they're at the concert watching it? You think they're feeling it when the interpreter's talking? This actually has things in your back, these like, I don't know if it's like vibrating balls or what it is exactly, but it vibrates and it moves it, and they can feel the music. Okay? So I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. All right, you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed my harmonica solos. It's been a while. I had to dust that thing off. All right. I still need to polish up a little bit on some songs. Maybe I'll have another song to end off the week tomorrow. Who knows? Adios. Maybe I'll do one of my favorites.